Joining us is Emily Malloy, and she is the author of this beautiful book, Theology of the Home for Arranging the Seasons. And Emily, thanks so much for being with us today. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's good to be with you.
And so in all honesty, we talked before, and I was raving about the book. Here it is again. And I was really amazed of the work you put in. Not only did you write it, but you took all the pictures as well. That must have been really hard.
It was, well, in all honesty, we stretched the project over a 10-month period. So it made it much more manageable. And it also made it so that I could grow most of the flowers for the book. There were some existing plants on the property, but I planted a good amount of everything else you see in the book. So the 10-month period really made it manageable.
Well, again, it is absolutely a beautiful, beautiful book. The pictures are beautiful, and what you talk about is beautiful. Tell us about the book itself and the structure of the book.
Absolutely. So it is a journey through an entire calendar year, starting in January, in sort of the heart of winter. And it goes through, broken down by seasons and then individually by month. And it chronicles what's going on in the landscape, what's going on in your gardens, also it touches on what is going on liturgically and how that changes who we are as people when we go through the year, and how we can be informed through the landscape's changes and watching it progress through the year.
And of course, we have the first week of Advent coming up. Could you give us maybe some ideas of ways that maybe people can prepare in their homes for the upcoming Christmas Day?
Absolutely. So there's a lot of fun traditions out there. Of course, the Jesse tree is a pretty popular thing for families to do. Of course, the Advent wreath. I'm all about keeping things simple in Advent and not bogging yourself down with a lot of to-dos, because then you find that you're not present and waiting for Christmas Day, and you're kind of over Christmas when it comes. So my main advice is keep it simple, bring in some fresh greens, and get your heart ready.
And how about Christmas season? What do you have for us for Christmas season?
Well, I love making everything red berries. So I like the baseline that I have with all the fresh greens. I kind of then start tucking in all the berries. And of course, most churches will have their poinsettia sales and things like that. So it's really fun to bring all of that sort of thing in. And of course, all the fun nostalgia and the crafts that you can do with your kids, right? Dried citrus wreaths, popcorn garlands, and also cranberry garland. So it's not cost prohibitive, but there's a lot of fun things you can do.
Yeah, the popcorn garland probably wouldn't make it with me. I'd eat all the popcorn before I could sew them together and do all of that. Now, this is a different type of book. So what inspired you to do a book like this, which, again, I'm such a fan of?
Well, I think I'm going to have to give credit where credit is due. So the entire project was Carrie Gress's idea. So Christmas 2021, she sent me a message and said, it's so obvious. We had been kind of mulling around different ideas of what the fourth installment should look like. And she said, it's so obvious, Emily. It has to be about flowers, and your name has to be on the spine. So it really was Carrie's. And then during the octave of Christmas that year, we really just started fleshing it all out so that we could make a big pitch come January.
Yeah, there's so many seasons in the book. Emily, I was curious to know if you have a favorite one that you enjoy preparing for.
I don't know. I fall in love with every season when I'm in it. Of course, each has its own hallmark of the things that you love. But I think I am born and raised in the Philadelphia area and natural lover of the underdog. So I have to say that winter has become this new favorite, and less from a floral standpoint, but sort of from a philosophical standpoint and seeing what's going on in nature.
I'm going to ask you a similar type question. What is your favorite flower or plant?
Okay, so it's a tie. My favorite is a hellebore or a tuberose. So a tuberose is a lesser known bulb flower, and it blooms in the late spring, but it's the most fragrant flower in the entire world. And hellebores are one of the few flowers that hangs out with us during the winter.
And this would be such a great Christmas or Advent gift. What person do you think would be of most interest of this book? Now, right away, I think of me and my wife, but who else would this really interest?
Well, I wrote it to appeal to the masses, right? Typically, Theology of Home, we have a heart for women as women. But I think, I tried to write it in a way that it would appeal to somebody that isn't necessarily somebody that sees himself with the green thumb, but loves walking through botanical gardens, all the way through to the master gardener, whom I can probably learn a great deal from, and, everybody in between.
Yeah, it's always hard for me to figure out what to get my wife for Christmas. Well, I know one gift I can get her, and it will be the perfect one, and it's your book. Where can people get a copy?
Well, you can get it at tanbooks.com and also at the Mercantile at theologyofhome.com.
Emily, it has been a pleasure. Have a great Advent, and thanks for being with
Thank
us
you.
today.
Same to you both.
Thank you.